Hello guys, so welcome to my tutorial on how to use the Elder Scrolls Construction Kit. This is the official Bethesda modding tool for Oblivion. It allows you to modify game content, create new content, or edit mods if they use ESP files. And although the remastered is based on Unreal Engine, you can still use the construction set to do most of the stuff. There's one thing that I couldn't do basically. I think it requires Unreal Engine and Blender. It's you adding like custom textures or whatever. With that I can't help you, but for other stuff we'll go over today on what we want to do. So first I'll explain how to install it, because it's a bit tricky, because it isn't made for the remastered. First you need to go to this page here on Nexus. I'm going to add the link to the description of the video. It's just a construction set. You need to download it. And when you have it, you can get this file here. It's an installation file. Just double click it, press yes, and then it says you do not appear to have Oblivion installed. You can install this construction set experimentally, but the features may not work properly. That's kind of what I told you, because we need to install it in a special way. Let's say it like that. So just next, accept terms, next, and then it asks you where to install it. This is crucial that you install correctly. You can go on change here, because this isn't the right path. Go on change, and then you get your file structure. I always do it in this way, but you can also navigate just there if you know where your game is. Just go to Steam, right click it, go to Properties, go to Installed Files, and then click Browse here. And it's going to take you to the path where the game is installed. Click on Oblivion Remastered, click on Content, click on Dev, and click on Op Data. In this folder is where it is going to be installed. Press right click on Oblivion data on top of here, copy address, and then go back to the installer, go into this path, and just press Ctrl V and copy it in here and press enter. And now we have it set to the correct file. Then click next and click install, and it's going to begin the installation, and we can see already here it's now installed. I don't want to view the readme file and add it to my shortcut, whatever, do it. Okay, now we can just click it here, or we go to our search bar and search Oblivion Construction Kit, but that isn't reliable, so just click it here, and it's going to open up. Now, first, you can see already here are some things and so on, but first we need to load the game's ESM file. The ESM file is the base Oblivion file where like everything important about this game is stored. It's the master file. So we click on data on top of here, file, and then data. Then a window is going to open up, and Oblivion ESM is here. You can already see I have a bunch of mods installed. These are ESP files. Most mods use ESP files. The plugin files, you can see here, the ESM is the master file, and the other ones are the plugin files. Now, this game has, or because it is not made for Oblivion Remastered, I think there's a small bug here. So you can basically not generate custom ESP files. You need to edit an ESP file. That's no problem if you want to edit a mod, but if you want to just do base game stuff, it's a little bit annoying. So I found this mod here on Nexus. It's called just empty ESP. I'm also going to add this here, add the link to my description, and just download this. I already have it downloaded, and it's going to give you a RAR file. Just extract it using 7-zip or WinRAR, and then we get empty ESP in the new folder. We're going to copy the ESP file from our downloads, and since we already were at the path where the construction set is installed, so Steam, right-click, Properties, and then Browse, and then navigate to the dev data. I'm sure you already know this if you use mods, but I just want to be complete. And then go to Data, and here are the files located. Just press right-click, and then paste your empty ESP into here. So let's go back to the construction set, and then click on File, Data, and you need to double-click Oblivion ESM, so there's a little tick here, and then search for the mod you want to edit. If we want to just do base game stuff, then we search for empty ESP. We double-click it also and click on Set as Active File. You can see here it's not plugin file anymore, but active file, and then just press OK. If you want to edit items that are in the DLCs, then you also need to add the DLC ESP. You can see at the bottom here, it's loading the files. When it's finished, I can show you how to load the DLC ESPs also. Yeah, so let's wait until all files are loaded in. And we are in. Okay. Just for completion, I show you how to use the ESP files. They just look like mods in here. So for example, DLC Maroon's Razor, if you want to edit something about the Maroon's Razor or whatever. Or I think Knights is the, how's it called? Something with 8 knights or 9 knights. I don't know. Yeah, Horse Armor, Thieves Den, Shivering Isles. If you want to edit something from Shivering Isles, just you need to search the name in here. And then also double click and click Set as Active ESP. Okay, but for now, just base game stuff. So I want to show you a few things I figured out while using this. Just disclaimer, I'm not a programmer or anything. I just use this tool provided by Bethesda and figured the stuff out by myself or with some very old tutorials. Okay, so I want to show you the general layout. Then I want to show you how to edit items, for example, edit the enchantments, the weight, the equipment slots, the armor rating value, etc. I want to show you how you can create custom enchantments for items or custom spells. I want to show you how you can essentially copy items and then edit the copy so you have new items that do not overwrite the old ones. How you can edit race attributes, adjust stats, or edit scripts. For that, you will need a bit of programming knowledge if you want to do that. And at last, how you can edit mods from other mod authors that you have installed. Okay, so let's begin. You can already see here in the left, there are lots of rows. For example, actors. And actors are creatures, leveled creatures, NPCs, and items, magic, miscellaneous, world objects, and so on. Let's do it with an item first. Okay. So you click on items, and then here, ammo, apparatus, books, clothing, ingredients, key, leveled items, and so on. Weapons is also another interesting one. So maybe we want to edit an armor. We click on armor. And here in this window, all the armors in the game are going to show, or only the base game ones, because if you need DLC ones, you need to load the DLC ESP files. On the left is the editor ID. That's not as important. If you're using, I think there's a mod where you can use the editor ID to cheat in the items. For that, it could be important. I think I'm going to put that in the description also, but that's not hard. Like, instead of the little number you use from the wiki, just use a name that's here. And the name of the items. I always sort by name, so just click on here and it's going to sort from A to Z all the items. Let's search an item we can do. If you can see here, if there's multiple items, then these are the leveled items. You can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These all have different stats. Searching for the Shrouded Armor from the Dark Brotherhood, because that's one I already edited once. Shrouded Armor. Okay, if you found an item you want to add, so just search for the name of the item, you double click it, and then a window is going to open. Here are all the informations about the items. So the ID, that's here on the left, the in-game name, if any script is ran with this item, the weight, the light, the health, armor rating, value, if any enchantment is associated with the item, if it's a quest item, if the player can use it, if it hides the amulet, and if it hides the rings. So these things you can just change. For example, if we want armor rating of, I don't know, just say 200. I already closed it. Okay, on backup, just type in 200. Or if we want to have a value of 1, just edit that. We can also edit the slot to which it is equipped. For example, if we want to equip the Shrouded Armor to only the upper body, and we can deselect all of these. Or if we want to equip it for free, so to no slot at all, just deselect all of those. And then it's going to basically, you can't see it anymore, and it's going to be invisible and equipped. You can use the effects, but you can't see it, and you can equip it alongside all other items. If you do that, there's a little error message, I think, when you export the mod, but just click OK or whatever comes up, and it's going to be fine. On the right here, that's a thing that sadly doesn't work, or doesn't work as easily. Here's the model that the game uses for the items. Because the game uses Unreal Engine, this isn't as easy, and I don't know how to do it. Maybe you can go to the Discord and maybe there's a guide there, but you're going to be using, I think, Blender or any other 3D editing program and Unreal Engine, so I don't know how to do that. And here, if you click on Enchanting, you can see here are the names of the enchantments in the game. If you want to, like, sometimes you can tell, or most of the time you can tell by the name what enchantment it is. But if you don't find the one you want, then just search your item in the list. Okay, that doesn't have an enchantment. Okay, that isn't there, whatever. This one with an enchantment, okay. Just this. For example, this uses ENP water walking, and it's the leather boots of water walking. Just double click it and use the ID to change it. Or you can see what the enchantment is called, and then you can go back to your one you want to change and put it in there. Okay, so that's how you edit armor. The same works for weapons in the same way. For example, the Ebony Mace ID name, what type of weapon it is, so what skill it uses, what script. So I would not meddle with this if you don't know what you're doing with the scripts, because for example this uses it's an arena weapon, so it uses some arena script, I don't know. And enchantment is also the same: health, weight, value, speed, reach, damage, and so on. Excuse me, I need to drink. Okay, so that's how you edit items in here. If you are finished editing, just click on File and click Save, and it's going to save to the empty ESP file. So now our changes are saved to the empty ESP file. Okay, now let's go to creating custom enchantments and spells. You can see here in Magic, here are the different spells: diseases, lesser powers, powers, spells, and so on. You can also just double click it. What do we want to do? I don't know. Here, the names, yeah. The name list again. These are only the spells that are in the game, not the custom ones you create. I don't think you can see those in here, but yeah, just double click it and you can basically change a lot of things. And here you can change what type it is, if it is a lesser power, power, spell, disease. Here are some attributes you can change. For example, yeah, disallow spell absorption and so on. The mastery, you can change it if you untick the auto calculate, and you can change the mastery, the spell cost, and so on. And here are the effects that the spell has. So the Aegis spell has the effect shield magnitude 50 on self for 60 seconds. It costs 403 magicka and it's an alteration skill. You can double click it and change the attributes here. What effect it has, shield, fortify something, yeah, just search in there. You can change the range, the duration, the magnitude, and I don't know what this is. And I don't think you can change anything down here. And you can also add another spell to this Aegis spell. For that, just right click, click new, and then you can, yeah, basically choose everything in here, what the new spell should be. For example, drain skill. Yeah, for the actor, yeah, that's what the actor value is for. If you use like a skill that requires more specification, then you can change the actor value. For example, drain skill and then drain, I don't know, blade for 60 seconds and drain 50 blade, and then click OK, and then it's going to be just in here. Yeah, so let's close this. You can also right click in here and create a completely new spell. Choose an ID, choose a name, and then type, and again right click new, and so on. And this ID, that's what I'm going to add in the description. I don't have it here. It's something called, I don't know, editor ID console or something like that. Again, I'm going to edit the link, so don't worry. And then you can type in player.addSpell and then the ID. Yeah, and the same goes for enchantments. It works exactly the same way. You can filter here by, for example, what weapon type it has. I don't think you can filter by in-game name here. I don't know. And yeah, for example, the Ebony Blade, you can see here the type is weapon, the ID, then the effects it has, and again you can right click here, click new, and then the effect, the range, duration, actor value if that applies, and so on. yeah, if you want to add a completely new enchantment, then you can click new. For example, for apparel, the ID is, I don't know if you have to use the DBEN, I always use it, but probably you don't have to. DBEN and then just have a test. And then new, I'm just going to pick anything, fire shield cell for 40 seconds, magnitude 40, click OK. And then let's do DBEN a test. So we can find it in the list easily. Okay, and then just filter by editor ID. Then it should be here somewhere, DBEN. Here it is, DBEN test. And if we now go back to the items and armor, we can add our new custom enchantment to any armor we want. So for example, the Blackwood boots, double click, and in enchanting, we search for the name. So DBEN. Okay, I can't find it now, but trust me, it's in here. Where is it? DBEN. Here. DBEN test. So our custom enchantment would be applied to the boots. Click OK, and again, you have to always click Save before you close this here. And if you click Save, it writes it to the ESP file. Yeah. In this thing on top here, you can also change things. For example, character, race, and then you could edit the race attributes or what skill bonuses they get, what spells they get, and so on. And a bunch of stuff here, I don't know, that's above my pay grade. Yeah, you can create custom quests, for example, but I don't know about that. Yeah, I don't know how to do that. That's going to be a bit more work. You can do basically a bunch of stuff in here. For example, also you can edit the scripts of the game, but that's going to require a bit more knowledge. You can write new scripts, and apply them through items or whatever, or you can click on script and then open, and then here are lots of scripts the game uses. You can always search in a construction kit by typing in without Control F or something. Just for example, the script I edited was the vampire script. You can just edit this and then click on script and save, and it's going to save it. Yeah. So one last thing I'm going to show you in this window before we are going to install the ESP file is how to create new items. So we don't just overwrite old ones if you want to create a new item. First, you need to search for an item whose model you like. Because the model, like I said, requires Unreal Engine and 3D editor and something to change that. So yeah, just search for a model you like. For example, let's just go back to the shrouded armor because that's one I changed. Shrouded armor, double click it, and then change the ID. For example, DB leather couriers, I don't know how to state. For example, if we change it to DB Brotherhood and click on OK, the game asks if you want to create a new form. We click on yes, and you can see DB Dark Brotherhood is here. This is our copied thing. If something is edited in here, it's always going to show this little star thing. So this is the original, this is all new edited. And this we can now edit how we want. If you need it in the game, you need to, like I said, install the mod and use this thing to spawn it into your inventory. I think you can also put it in the world somewhere. That's what this is used for, but I never did it, so yeah, I don't know how to do it. Yeah, and now we have this. We edit it. It's copied to the changes like the 200, but you can always change that back. So change to 10. In our modded one, let's change the enchantment from the dark suit enchantment to the default one to the app eye. I think that's like dark eye. Change value, whatever. So that's our mod. Click on OK. And then again, file, save. Yeah. So I think the last thing before we're going to install the mod is I'm going to show you how you can edit other mods. It's basically the same. So double click on the MTU head because you want to write the changes to the mod file. And I don't know which one can we use. Which of these adds new items? Is that, where is it? Strange, I can't find it. Okay, doesn't matter. Here's it. Okay, I'm blind, sorry. Yeah, so the one I want to edit is Separated Dark Brotherhood Armor. That's also the mod I uploaded on my Nexus. Double click it, and then again set as active file, and then click on OK. And again, it needs to load in the ESM file. That I forgot to mention, the ESM file needs to be loaded every time you want to edit something. But it was already loaded now because we did it before for the empty file. Okay, so let's just wait until it's loaded in. Probably skip ahead here. The bar down below is full. Okay, loaded back in. So this mod adds Separated Dark Brotherhood armor. And if we scroll down to Shrouded armor again, you can see here. That's the mods the items the mod author added. Shrouded boots, shrouded couriers, shrouded gloves, shrouded greaves, and the leather helmet and the shrouded hood. So again, you can see here the little stars. That these have been edited. These are not vanilla. And he basically used probably the thing I showed you before, where he edited the original one, then changed the ID, and then the game asked, okay, do you want to create a new one? And then he created a new one and did all this. Again here, this I already did show you how you can change the enchanting, the biped object, the ID, and so on. Just show you the error that happens if you select everything in biped object, click OK, and if you then click on save, it just works. Okay, I always had an error there. I don't know. But yeah, if you get that error, just click OK, it will be fine. I'm going to add it back on because I want to use that mod. Okay, and now we have our empty ESP file. You can close the program now, you don't need it anymore. You can now install it manually. If we go here into the data folder, and we have empty ESP, we can now change the name to whatever we want. I don't know. Test mod. And then if you want to edit it manually, then just copy the name, go to plugins, and copy the name in here. But I'm not going to do that because don't need that mod. But we can also just install it through Vortex. That's also pretty easy. Now I need to find it again. Test mod. We can also just install this through Vortex. I don't know if that works with. It doesn't work. Okay, then I'm going to just put it in my downloads folder quickly. Just copy it here, install from file, and then click on this. And I think you don't need to zip it up. I think Vortex can automatically install it. Let's see. But it should work. If it doesn't work here, then I messed something up. But because I just did some random crap for the tutorial, but it, like I said, it should work. There shouldn't be any problems. I'm wondering why it doesn't work. I don't know. Maybe let's try. So zipping it. Maybe it works then. Okay. I don't know. I don't know what Vortex is doing. What? Ah, okay. That's what I wanted to show you. Yeah. If you install the empty ESP file, Vortex is going to say that there is no archive because it's just the ESP file. And if I want to create a mod containing just this file, and if we then press on create mod, then it's going to install it. And yeah, it's conflicting with the other mod I did because I edited some stuff that is edited in here, but for you it should just install. I'm going to cancel it because I don't want it to override other mods, but yeah, that's it for this short tutorial. Forgive me if I spoke a little bit weird or was a bit slow or something. I don't usually do stuff like this, but I wanted to share some knowledge that I accumulated. And yeah, this should be it, I think. Some mods I recommend using is the tag remover, because all items you edit will have the NL tag, and this removes that. For the NL tag remover, you need the script extender, but this is needed for basically every mod under the sun, so you should already have this. And what I mentioned was the Runtime EditorID console. I will put the link in the description, but yeah, like I said, it allows you to enter the editor IDs from the construction set instead of the numeric ones from the wiki, and I think you need this for custom items, and it makes life easier for all the other items too. Okay, then thank you for watching, and if you have any questions, you can ask in the comment section, or I don't know if I'm going to upload this to Nexus, but if I'm going to upload, you can ask there too, but it would be easier in the comment section because I get a notification there. And yeah, so thanks. Goodbye.